Hello and welcome to Quiet Life Homestead. I'm Gina, and today we're going to talk about chores and allowance and a system that has made our lives easier and hopefully will make your life easier too. So I'm going to flip you around and show you kind of how our system works. We have a little hub here. Let's see, this is a basket that tells my son those need to go back to his room and he needs to bring back that basket. So every afternoon as I gather things, if he leaves shoes in the living room or something, we just pop it here for him. This is his check-in spot after school. And we need to go ahead and put these back. But this is the list system that has basically revolutionized everything for us. So we've got a calendar that he can see. It's low down for him. We put things that are due on school, like if he has a test or something, and then things he needs to work on throughout the week. Those are his multiplication facts that he needs to take a look at. And then here are chores that he can earn money for, and they have a monetary value. And these chores appear periodically. But what I do is I'll decide, like, hey, this hasn't been done, or he needs to, I don't know, do a couple different things. Then he can earn up to $2.50. So the more chores that are here, the better it is for him, because he can get paid if he wants. Because there's lots of times where he comes around and he says, hey, is there anything I can earn? I need to earn like $1 or $2 or whatever. And I have chores here that I can do that with. And on the flip side, if there's chores here and we need a punishment or a penalty for something that he was asked to do and didn't do, or that's mostly what it is, asked to do and didn't do, or whatever, attitude sometimes, then he'll have to do one of these chores for no money. And what we found is the fact that he could have made money, but because of whatever, punitive action, whatever it was, now he gets to do that chore for free. So he's very motivated to not do that, to get paid for those chores. That means he volunteers on his own to go do them. I don't have to really talk about it, which is great. I just stick the chore that needs to be done and what I'm willing to pay him to do it. It has helped me tremendously to know that, like once a week, the entryway and hallway are getting vacuumed. That's not something that happens in the course of my everyday day all the time, but it almost always needs to be done. So another easy chore would be like wiping the doors and windows. Our entry door has glass side lights, and then our mudroom door is all glass and gets kind of muddy at the door handle. So he can do that. He does this great room for vacuuming. He gets paid for that. So there's all kinds of things. The other thing he does that is a chore, and I just put those chores that really need to be done but don't often get done or sometimes get overlooked. One chore of his is to wipe down all the counters and the appliances. He takes his little spray and he goes around and does it, and it's great. So he knows where all the things are. I don't have to stop and tell him. I don't have to get him set up. He comes to look at his chore chart and he gets started. So the other part of his chart is this right here, his personal everyday to-do list. Now this he doesn't get money for. This is just life. This is just life in the house. Empty backpack, feed Peaches, that's our cat. Go down and do the chicken box. That's feeding 2 sets of chickens. Empty the dishwasher, check to see if the trash needs to be taken out. He gets 1 hour TV in the afternoon, and he can spend that any way he wants. If he wants to do a half an hour and save an hour for after dinner, he can do that. If he wants to do the full hour after dinner, he can skip it. But this gives him some freedom to do what he wants to do. He does have to check and see if he needs to fold his laundry. I do wash his clothes. He brings me the basket. I wash them for him. He folds them and puts them away. Check the mail. That's done as soon as we come home from school. We stop at the end of the driveway. He checks the mail. And then clean room and bathroom. So he has his own bathroom, and we have decided that it's reasonable to expect that that room and bathroom get cleaned once a week. Now, he can do it any way he wants. He can wait until it's a Friday inspection. Every Friday we go and look at the room and the bathroom. So he can do it a little bit at a time. He can devote 15 minutes every, day. But that cleaning is more like, it's a pickup cleaning of the room. It's not so much dusting or vacuuming or anything like that. That happens when we do it. We help him with that. But as far as like tidy up and keeping it in shape for like friends to come over and play or whatever, he knows that I'm much more likely to say yes if he says, can I have a friend come over? Like today he's having a friend. If the room is clean and his bathroom is also clean. I made him his own cleaning caddy for his bathroom. That's very small and it's under his sink. It has all the, it's got some microfiber cloths, 2 different colors. One is the color of his bathroom and room, which is cool. They're turquoise. So that's for like the sink, the mirror, and any smudges on the wall, the windowsills, things like that. And then the toxic sludge color, as he calls it, it's like a neon yellow. That's for the toilet. So he knows those rags are only for the toilet. And we really don't make him scrub the tub, but he does have a little battery-operated scrubber. So he does scrub his toilet with that. He's got different, different attachments. So he can definitely do his tub. And if his sink is really gnarly, he's got one for his sink. The tubs in this house, I don't know what they're treated with, but they've got something that is really nice. They're very easy to clean up and no problem. So the tub is not so much as important as with little boys. If you have little boys, that the toilet is pretty serious. And then I'll come in and I'll mop the floor and do the tub. So I'm not worried about him doing a complete, total job, but just passable so that he can not be completely humiliated if people need to go to the bathroom in his bathroom. So that's it. When we instituted this system, I was getting myself more organized. We've got another one of those little to-do charts, and they're so fun. The first day he got one, he was so excited. He was like, oh, this is so cool. Because when you're done with it, you just move the button over to the side. If you have a kid who is visual and has like feedback, loves visual reminders, gets a sense of accomplishment from finishing a task and seeing it checked off. It took me a while to figure out that's the kid that he is, and I wanted to play into his strengths. Those are my weaknesses, and I need those things too now. So I'm trying it for me to do a little more discipline in my day. So as I was writing my own checklist, I was also writing one for him. He's also got one of those in his room. It has brush your teeth, time in the Bible, anything else he has to do at night before he goes to bed to remind him. Because, the common excuse I've heard, and I'm sure all kids are like this, I forgot. You told me, but I forgot, and this eliminates the I forgot. There is no I forgot. I literally don't have to say a word. It's right there on his list. And if he doesn't accomplish the things on his list in a timely manner with a decent attitude, then he has, a consequence, which is, one of those other chores that he doesn't get paid for. And so he's only done like one chore that he didn't get paid for, and man, he was super bummed. So he was not anxious to repeat that. And unlike, taking away screen time or taking away, friend time or grounding or whatever, I feel like sometimes the things that he does are not that serious, but they need some sort of consequence. because we're trying to instill that in real life, there are actual consequences. So if you don't have your stuff together, if you don't have things done that you need to do, excuse me, you don't get to do fun stuff. You know, that's like real life stuff. If you have work to do that you didn't finish at work, you don't get to leave early. You know, it's just a kind of a, it seems like to me that that's a way to instill some responsibility without being a nag, without being like on top of him all the time, and also giving him a sense of freedom. Like, hey, you can clean your room a little bit. What he has discovered since we had this chore, cleaning his room, he told me one day, he goes, you know what? If I just keep my room clean, then I don't have to clean it on Friday. And I was like, oh, light bulb. It's so true. If you work on it a little bit each day, or you're more mindful of putting your stuff away because you really don't want to deal with a big clean, we are trying to automate all the systems on our homestead and make things easier. So now that we've been here a year, it's been a little bit easier to see, like, hey, if we just do this, then we don't have to do that. And if we do this, then this will make things easier. So keeping up with his room, he has figured out to start from a place of cleanliness and then just keep it clean means he almost never has to clean it. If you put your stuff away, if you put your laundry away, then you don't have to worry about, picking up your clothes. So anyway, that's just where we are. He is 10 years old, getting ready to be 10. This may not have worked for him a couple of years ago, but I feel like each individual kid, it just, you got to figure out something that works for them and make it less of a personal attack. It's less of a back and forth. Did you do this? And it's less for me to remember also. Like, I don't have to go down all of my checklists and then go down his too and say, did you do this? Did you feed the cat? Did you feed the chickens? Did you do that? It's on the list. So I go over. If it hasn't been marked off the list, then we deal with the consequences of that at the end of the night. The other thing, it takes off the right now, the immediacy of doing a job like that. The only two jobs that he can defer and delay are the bathroom and the bedroom, because those we don't really see. It's not that critical to me. It has helped me very much to know that if I have the dishes washed before he gets home from school, then he will empty the dishes and I can start with a clean dishwasher before dinner. And then dirty dishes can go right into it and we can collect them for the morning breakfast and then get them washed again. So that system is helping me also. When I was a kid, my mom had chores for us, and they just, I hated the system that she had, because it changed back and forth from different systems that didn't really work. And then, sometimes it felt like they were just hard to do, and it was hard to remember, and it was hard to keep up with. But I felt like if I had this little checklist, it would have been a lot easier, and some expectations of, this is what you do just to live in the house. Okay, this is just what you do to be a family member. We don't pay you to feed your cat. You knew when we got animals that the animal feeding would largely fall to you. It doesn't always fall to him, but that's like, for instance, on the weekends. So Aaron does chicken water on Fridays, because the buckets are super heavy. They're like 5-gallon buckets full of water. And then I go out in the mornings and give them food also. So it's not a matter of like everything's dependent on him, but when you're part of a homestead, everybody's got to do some jobs and take off the responsibilities off some people. So anyway, I hope that helps, and I hope that that rambling makes some sense. And those little to-do lists are on Amazon. They are 2 for $12, which is an amazing deal, and they have revolutionized our lives. They're super low tech. They're easy to reset. So every night when he goes to bed, we just put all the X's back on, and then he's ready for some new green check marks. All right, I hope that helps, and I will see you on the next one.